Hey guys, Danielle here. Today we're going to be doing a video on what I've learned from living by myself. I know that's weird to say because I've totally been living by myself for only about 7 months now, so I probably don't know everything about living by myself, but I know a pretty good portion of what I've learned. So today I have 5 things of what I've learned about living by myself. So number one is I learned a lot about myself as a person. And that's kind of cheesy to say, but I learned that when I used to live with my old roommate, I used to be super clean. I would make my bed every day. I'd clean the countertops in the kitchen every night. And now that I live by myself, I definitely do not do as much cleaning. I only clean on Sundays. So let's say throughout the week, everything just starts piling up and getting super gross. So yeah, and I've also learned that I become more of an independent person. I guess that's what you do more of, obviously, when you live by yourself. You're more independent because you pay your own bills, you work on your own schedule, you have your own routines, so you don't really have to depend on someone else. But another thing that I learned about myself while I was living here was that I actually wanted a new hobby. So I'm doing YouTube a lot more now that I live by myself because I have all this free time, so yay for YouTube. I also actually just picked up yoga. I used to do it at home, watching YouTube videos, but now I'm actually going to classes, so I'm actually really excited about that because yoga is becoming kind of a major part of my life, I would say. It's just developing into a lifestyle, so I see it taking hold in the future. I imagine myself doing yoga a lot more than I do it now, or having a better grasp on it. But the second thing that I learned about myself, or learned about living alone, is that it's actually really expensive. One of the things that I've learned is that when I used to live with Emily, we split all the bills in half. Sometimes we split groceries in half. For the most part, we actually did half and half on groceries. And now that I live alone, it is way more expensive. That $40 internet bill is not $20 for you, it is $40 for you. So that's one tip is if you're budgeting, or if you're thinking about moving out by yourself, just imagine paying an extra $50 a month than what you normally pay, let's say if you live with a roommate, just because all the bills that used to be in half are now all in your name and you gotta pay the whole thing. So yeah, just one thing that was kind of a shock to me. I realized I'd be paying the whole thing, but when it's really coming out of the bank account, you're dang, I miss paying 20 bucks for internet every month. So going along with money, I guess I learned a lot about money management. I started creating managing money for myself every month. That would be so much goes to gas, so much goes to groceries, and then I plan out my bills every month with every paycheck that I get from where I work. And so money management became a huge thing for me. So if you guys want to see another additional video more in depth on my money management, then yeah, definitely give this video a thumbs up and I will do a money management video. I'm kind of thinking of starting an Adulting 101 series, so if you like that, then yeah, just let me know. The third thing that I learned about living alone is that it actually gets pretty lonely, not gonna lie. If you're used to coming home every night to seeing your friends or your family or your roommate, you definitely do not see them anymore. I probably come home the majority of the time and not hang out with friends probably at least half the week, if not more. And so you gotta get used to coming home and not having anybody there. Honestly, if something happened to me, no one would probably know for a couple days because no one knows. But yeah, you just gotta find ways with coping with loneliness. So I used to have a pet fish named Charlie. I loved him. But you can also have dogs or cats, of course if your apartment allows. I'm actually moving to a new apartment where it allows dogs. So I'm so excited to get a dog pretty soon. Pretty soon as in probably still a year out. But I really want to get a dog, so yeah, bucket list right there. Another way to cope with loneliness is just hanging out with your friends and family more, making time for them. Because when I used to live with my roommate, I would bank on my friends hitting me up and asking me to hang out. But now that I live alone, I feel I have to ask more people to come hang out with me, just so I'm in the loop and I don't get serious FOMO or anything. But loneliness is one of the main factors that kind of I didn't take into part. I didn't expect that when I moved in by myself that I would get lonely, because it depends on the day, but most of the time I'm more of an introverted person. So I didn't think loneliness would affect me in this way because I'm used to being alone and more of a dependent person. But I would definitely recommend living by yourself, just making time for your friends, even if that's just going out and getting coffee that day and just speaking to the barista and saying hello. But loneliness is just something you gotta constantly fight to hang out with your friends or get a four-legged critter. Now, tip number 4, it's kind of going off tip number 3 with coping with loneliness. This is more of like getting out of the house. So whether that's just like going on like vacation, or if it's like hanging out with friends, you just gotta make home like a comforting place. So every time that you come home, you just feel so comforted that you're alone. You know what I mean? Like you just come home and you're like, wow, like I'm just so happy. It just feels good to be home. Like after you got done with a long like day of work, you're like, yes, I'm ready to be home. You just don't want to get like cabin fever of like staying in, especially if someone has like a job where they work from home. Like if I did YouTube full time, I would get serious cabin fever. So you definitely have to go out, whether that's like making a day of like running errands or like getting groceries or anything like that. You definitely just gotta like get out of the house, like go on walks, like anything like that, just so when you come home, it's like a really comforting feeling. And lastly, tip number 5 I have for you guys is just to enjoy it. Like I love living by myself. Like I've never been like so like happy and like more like in control of my life living alone. Like I don't have to report to my parents. I don't have to report to like a roommate. I can just do whatever I want whenever I want. I mean, believe me, I could totally walk around the house completely in the nude and like it wouldn't faze anybody. One of the things that you don't have to worry about living alone is like you can decorate like however you want to. You don't have to like do it however your roommate wants to, and you don't have to do it how your boyfriend wants to, and in the future you don't have to worry about like your kids and like creating a house that is like kid friendly. Like you can do whatever you want and just go wild in your own house and just really like vibe out, and that'll definitely make it a more comforting place when you come home if it's just like everything that you love in one place. I don't know, just embrace living on your own. Like I've truly embraced it, and I love living on my own. I feel so like confident and capable, and I've just like learned a lot about myself. So I definitely recommend that everyone lives at least alone in their life at least once. I mean, even if it's for like 3 months, you still learn a lot more about yourself than you would if you lived with a roommate. But yeah, that's everything that I've learned from being alone. If you guys have learned anything that I didn't mention, then just leave a comment down below. Also, give this video a huge thumbs up if you sticked around till the end, and if you want to see that money management adulting series. But if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.